Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. I would like to do a couple of medium readings for Gabby Petito and for Brian Laundrie. And, only because they're a case that has been so interesting to people, although it's also shown the spotlight on so many missing young women. Oh my gosh, so many. And so, I get the feeling like Gabby would want to be working from the other side with them. I actually am putting in the link below connection to a video that I had posted on Patreon a while back. I knew that Brian was gone during a live stream, and on this video I talked about him being on the other side. I knew he was gone, and I knew he had suicided long before he was found. And funny, I did see him like his body was in a place difficult to find, underwater perhaps, so that was interesting. And I knew it was a gun. So that I was right on. I was in touch with these people. And I knew that Gabby too, when I did her medium reading for Patreon, I knew she was gone as well before her body was discovered. And it felt like her air was being cut off, and yeah, so I knew that too. But that only tells me that I was in touch with the right spirits on the other side. So why not ask them what's going on now? Okay. So for Gabby, what would you like to say, Gabby? Oh, I really do see her in such light and love. But here we have the Ten of Swords. She's telling me, so we're getting the medium reading where on this side is before they've died, and on this side is as after they have. Okay. So she is saying, she was devastated. That was it. That was done. She knew. She kind of knew that it might have to get to that point. She was trying to leave him. She was trying to leave him. One way or another, this was going to end. One way or another, even if he did, she was worried he would kill her. She was worried about that. Hopeful that not. I mean, hopeful that wasn't going to happen. Hopeful that she was just fearful or thinking the worst, but she was, one way or another, I just hear her saying one way or another, this was going to end. So she was going to leave him. But then he caught up with her again, and she didn't feel like she had a lot of choice but to travel with him. Then we have the Star card, though, for the challenge. So she was also hopeful. She felt a strange sense of relief that in having made the decision that she was going to disentangle herself from him, no matter what it took. She was very brave. And then we have the Four of Swords in the past. This had just gotten to her so much psychologically. Like it just, it really did harm to her, this relationship. It was time. Oh, she was very supported then by the universe. She knew it was time. By hook or by crook, she was going to be free. Above it all, we have the Hierophant, the law. She was thinking a little bit on how that might help, but not too hopeful about that. Like, how could that be helpful? She was thinking a little bit like, okay, now if things get really bad between us, I can call the police. I think she was thinking that. Like that was the plan going on in her conscious mind as something that would decrease the anxiety. But yet in her subconscious mind, was the Wheel of Fortune. Like, okay, it is time, one way or another, to have a new beginning. Okay, immediate future, Ten of Wands. Ugh. So in other words, they were fighting and fighting and fighting. This wasn't an easy time. in the days before, or the hours before she died. It was just fighting, arguing, scared. It was not, he had a way of doing that. I feel like she's saying he had a way of doing that, keeping her going for hours and hours, like he just wouldn't let things go. He was very jealous. She was very overburdened. Because also she was just trying to do I see her trying to do the practical things, take care of all the practical details of their travel as well. And this was just another day, like so many days they'd had, but worse. Okay, rid of the matter. But then this is too where a lot of times, oh no. Okay, people are passing in this section a lot of times in these readings. So in other words, even the passing was like it wasn't like there was nothing and then she was strangled. It was a back and forth. It was not good. But she passed, and there was joy, there was freedom, and there was all of a sudden bright light. And there was a carefree, joyful, right away then, with that Sun card. Interesting, a reversal. 7 of coins reversed. So, in other words, she no longer felt unsafe. She no longer felt like she didn't have enough of something. She no longer felt preoccupied or worried or dissatisfied or unsafe. That was the big deal. She no longer felt that sense of unsafety, that sense of, I'm not safe enough. That was nice to be free of that. And then the 3 of coins for the hopes and fears. I think she was hoping she was found. I think she helped them find her, because I think she saw her family working with authorities here. I think she hoped that they would figure that out. And then we have the Page of Cups and the outcome. Interesting. Carefree child playing, happy on the other side. But what's the deal with the child? She met a child too, that means. Huh. I wonder if, strangely, I wonder if she ever miscarried or something. I almost feel like, or if there was a child. No, yeah, I just want to say it that way. If she ever miscarried, I wonder if she met that child. Then we have 10 of coins. So she definitely, the generations card, she definitely saw family members who had passed and felt terrific about that, was happy about that. She had a very nice transition, I see. Seriously. She had prayed a lot. She knew that there was another reality. I don't think she was necessarily religious, but just she didn't need to be either, because she could feel it in nature. And then the 8 of Cups. It's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. So there may have been a little bit of, having to turn her back on all of the things in her life that she had built, the future plans she had built, the relationships she had. I feel like she had friends. I feel like she had friendships she hated to leave. But it was time. It was time. Yeah. Yep. It was time. And really there was this, I feel like that was only because she wanted to be there for them. And this is maybe family too. Like she wanted to be there for them. She was never one to abandon her friends, I feel like. And so that was a little tough, and also she had so many goals too. She's never one to abandon any of that. But, oh my gosh, we can just have fun. We can be a carefree child. So that's wonderful. Yeah, and she still has a level of commitment, I feel like, for friends here. And I do feel like especially for women, especially for female friends or women who are dealing with abuse. I do feel that. And I don't feel animosity toward Brian. I feel like I just see her shaking her head like, oh, he was so disturbed. So disturbed. So tormented. I just see her more like pitying him almost. Yeah, no anger at all. I don't feel any anger at all from her toward him. Not that they're hanging out over there or anything. There was no, so much of their bond was fear and possession, and it wasn't a true or enduring kind of bond. So it's not like they're together or anything. She is completely free of him and will always be. But it's interesting. Well, we're going to check in on Brian now. And we are going to ask him to come forward and tell us what he's learning and what happened. Okay, we have the Three of Cups. Celebration. I feel like this is before he passed. And this is some of his obsessiveness. I feel like he felt threatened by Gabby's relationships with other women, with friends, with female friends. Like there was maybe a female friend or two who encouraged her to leave him. And he felt he didn't like that. It's like, why I'm getting this card is that's what his mind was on all the time. It's not like I'm seeing what was going on with him. I'm seeing what was in his mind. And then we have the Justice card with the challenge. So the challenge was that he knew justice was coming for him. He knew he had killed Gabby, and he did feel like he should do away with himself. I wonder about this Three of Cups. I wonder if he was worried too that there was a female friend or a female family member or something that knew the truth. That, I mean, there's no way he would get away with this because her friends knew enough about where she was and so on and so forth. I almost wonder if that was on his mind. And then the Justice card. And so there was a sense where he felt like he should do away with himself because he had killed her. Plus, he didn't think he'd get away with it. 10 of Wands underneath. How do I do it? How do I plan this? Overburdened. Can I, I feel like his mind was sort of crazed. And it was a challenge to get his brain to think logically about all the steps. When I had done that reading on Brian Laundrie, long before he was found, I thought his parents, there wasn't much that they knew about exactly what happened, but I do think right after I got done with that video, I did think, well, they know, they really suspected he had killed himself, and maybe they knew a little more than they were sharing. They feared this meant that he had done away with her. I almost see them questioning him and saying, what happened? Where's she? What did you do? Like that, like his mother in particular. And I feel like they went camping. They all went together away because he wanted that. He asked for that. But he wasn't very honest about exactly why. Why? I'm sorry, I dropped a card here. Why he asked for that. But they had their concerns. In the past, we have the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords. So, that's it. That's it. He was devastated. He was devastated that he killed her. He was devastated over the loss of her, too. Okay. Above it all is the Page of Coins. I just think that was him getting the gun. I think that was, I've got to get the, that's the only way I'm safe. In the immediate future is the Page of Cups. Interesting. So that is about, you know, as he's passing, he was successful in suicide. He was successful in shooting himself. And yes, in the head. And he felt all of a sudden a lot more carefree, free of his body, free of his mind. But then, in the heart of the matter, there were messages he was not wanting to hear. He was very dissatisfied. He was starting to understand. What did I do? I don't see him like entering into the light or anything right here. I see him more dissatisfied, confused, not seeing. In fact, Source was trying to help him. Spirits were trying to help him. Angels maybe trying to help him, bringing him messages like, come this way, you know, and I don't think he was getting it. So I think there was some confusion, although he did feel a little lighter right away. Then we have 2 of coins in the environment. Okay, which way do I go? I think he had confusion. I think he didn't know what he was doing. You know, I think sometimes that happens. I think sometimes when people pass who are not spending much time walking in the light, they're not familiar with it. Our best way to prepare for our transition to the other side is getting in touch with that light right here now. And if he didn't understand spirituality, he didn't understand Source, he didn't understand any of that, chances are he didn't see it. He didn't immediately see it. And he was confused. And who do I listen to? So I am almost wondering if he didn't see other spirits, other people, you know, he didn't know. He didn't know what was going on. Hopes and fears, strength, divine strength and protection. But he did have a wish for that. He knew enough to ask for that. And 5 of Swords in the outcome. Cutting away. And the 6 of Cups. So there was a friend or somebody who had passed before him. Oh gosh, maybe it wasn't even a friend. Someone who knew him when he was a child. I feel like it was an uncle or something like that. Somebody that felt like that to him was helping him. So he did in fact turn to the right way, but it's still very confused. 7 of Cups, still very confused. So I think that even if he spent some time following the wrong beings over there and being confused, he did begin to get some guidance. Yes. And that 6 of Cups is nostalgia, so he did also begin to look back and see things he regretted. So maybe his life review did begin. He did begin to see some things the way Gabby experienced them. But still a lot of confusion. And still some aggression. I'm cutting away this. I'm cutting away these people. So I wonder if he had some tough times too, following the wrong beings over there before he was getting some, you know, seeking some better guidance, before he had the sense to ask for help. Huh. So still some confusion over there. He's got work to do, but I don't see the lightheartedness here yet. there was freedom right away from some of the pain in his body and his mind and his psyche. But he has work. He has work. He has work. It seems to me like he's gotten a good guide now, though. So that's something. I always wonder how much the souls who are perhaps less evolved, how much they can tolerate standing in the light, receiving the light. And sometimes I feel like I hear from in some of these medium readings that they can't tolerate all that much light that well. I think, though, that he will tolerate some of that light. So, there are amends to be made. He's not allowed. I feel like he's kind of not allowed to be close to people on this earth too much right now. Huh. He still has too much confusion. So his parents may not sense him around. People may not sense him around at this point. Well, he's on his journey, I guess. There's a lot more confusion for him. Well, is there anything else that we should know? I feel like he still has many unresolved things from what he did. Like he would wishes, he regrets, he wishes he had not killed her. He wishes he had not done that. He wishes he had not harmed so many people in doing that. Because he's harmed so many people in doing that. Because so many people cared about Gabby. So he has to experience that now. But then this flies out, pregnant with the possibilities. Like, I keep hearing about this. I wonder if they did miscarry, if she had ever been pregnant and miscarried a child that they had together. I still wonder this. I just feel a lot of regret from him about that. But there's a lot of possibility here for him to learn from this particular lifetime. But man, he's got a lot of karma there. He's got some difficult lifetimes ahead, I think, to try to understand, try to gain some empathy. Yeah. Something was wrong with his brain, though. I keep feeling like, and I mean, not like, I don't know. I keep feeling like he could think in such a scattered and crazed kind of way. This next time he's coming in with an absolute ability to see things as they are, very reality-based, and going to have to deal with some difficult realities. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, he accepts. He accepts. Well, that's what I've got. Well, I thank you all so much for tuning in and for caring. And you know, I am going to put a hotline. It's actually the sexual slavery hotline. And not that was Gabby's situation, but it's a sex trafficking hotline. And you can call that hotline when you're concerned about anybody that you see, male or female, who you feel is being controlled and stripped of their rights, their autonomy, and a police person may come and check it out. So I will put that in the description box for you. Sometimes I've got it in my phone just in case. All right. Well, I thank you all so very, very much, and I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.